Hello, everyone out there. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you're here today. If you could take a moment to hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell, give me a like if this video resonates with you, or if you just like it, I would appreciate that. And if you leave me a comment, I will respond back to you. I always respond to my comments out there. And if you could share my video, I would appreciate that as well. I'm not doing cards right now, but I'm coming on to talk to you all about something interesting that happened just recently to me. I meet up people in person and I do cards for them. And I bring, all of my stuff and I set everything up. And, it's pretty powerful to do cards in nature. And I was at a very historical place. And this place had been part of a war. Fire had ripped through it, all kinds of things. Okay. And I'm meeting people there and I'm doing spell work and I'm doing readings and everything's going really, really good. But I have to tell you guys, I got done with my spell work and I went to go and set up a table, with my crystal ball and all of my things and violet and, my bell and all these things that I have there. And I'm getting things out and I'm setting them on the table. And, you know how like when you use a magnifying glass and the sun burns through a magnifier and it can burn a hole in something, right? Or it can start a fire or whatever, right? Well, Ophelia here is a very powerful conduit, okay? And, I never had this happen before. I've set up in the park. I've set up, I do reading. I do all kinds of things outside. Never had this happen before. And I hadn't, well, it wasn't the first time that I've met this person, okay? I know exactly what is going on with their energy and everything. And what is very, very interesting is that I'm waiting on a client to come. I'm setting everything up. And I get out my cards and I start setting them around on the table, I wasn't really thinking about the sun and Ophelia. And, it's really, really funny because it was more than happenstance that happened to me that day. All my cards are always pre-shuffled and pre-cleansed and ready for everyone, whoever I meet anywhere or whatever. I always do that before I meet up with people. And so I'm setting my decks out that I'm feeling for that day that I have the urge to use, And my all-seeing eye was part of that deck. It was part of my decks that I chose, okay? Well, I go to set down my all-seeing eye deck in the pouch. You see this right here? That is a hole from the sun, okay? So I'm sitting there and I turn my head and I'm grabbing another deck and I see smoke billowing up from my cards and I'm like, oh my God. So I grab my cards and I pull them away. And when I pulled this deck away, it had already burned an actual hole in my case of my cards. Now, thankfully, this was on my cards, okay? I wasn't really thinking much about it, so I just pulled my cards out and just kind of patted it out and I sat them down like this and I sat them like over here on the other side of the crystal ball. And I began to get out my other decks and I take off the cover and I start thinking, okay, I'll just put them out without the cover on them, right? I set this one down and, not really thinking about anything except for what I'm feeling and the fact that that one pouch had lit on fire. Now, anybody out there in the world, signs that you don't pay attention to? This was a huge, huge sign. And I knew with all my heart and soul of the information, oh, my ears are ringing, that I had to unfold for my client, okay? And it wasn't making me feel very good because of what had occurred. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what happened with the next deck that I sat down. Now, remember, All my cards are always pre-shuffled and cleansed and ready. Okay. Well, I go to set my light seers deck down, and I set it like this, down flat. And see, I go to set my light seers deck down. All right. And I set it down flat like this. Okay. Right down on the table. All right. And I go to reach for another deck, and I see out of the corner of my eye, smoke coming up from my deck. And I instantly grab my deck, and I grab my other deck, and I pull it aside, and I pull this aside. I'm like, okay, Ophelia. So I cover her back off because I have a little purple cover for her that I made. And instinctively, I instantly said to myself, oh gosh, what card did the sun burn a hole through? What card did the sun burn a hole through? Now, I'm always preaching to everybody to watch out for people who are false and watch out for those mask wearers and everything, right? And people who are lying to you and people who just want to chain you to them and everything. Well, interestingly enough, I go to take out my card. I go to look at my cards because they had just been sizzling, and I instinctively I go to grab the card to see what card it was that got the hole in it. As you can see right there. You see that? Look, I'll even put my finger on the other side of it so you can see my finger. See it? All right. Well, you know how everybody hates to burst somebody's bubble about somebody that they care about very, very deeply. Well, as I said, I was meeting someone, and I meet people oftentimes, and I do have a lot of strange things that happen, but this is something that I want to tell everyone out there because I am dreading what I am having to inform someone about the person that they're involved with. Okay. So I look down, and I grab my deck, and I pull it aside, and I cover Ophelia up, and I'm like, what? I wonder what card that was. I wonder what card that was. Here, right here in the neck, almost the carotid artery. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong out there, but you can see it. You can see that hole right there. You see that? It's the devil. The devil. Hello. Um, for a reader, now I know that it was kind of dumb for me to have my crystal ball uncovered, but for a reader, this is a sign amongst signs amongst signs, at least for me. This was the universe telling me that the info that I don't want to tell this person is what I need to tell them. That the person that they're dealing with is a false person. This is also, I know it's addictions, it's somebody you're chained to, it's all these things. But this person is the most unbelievably misleading, lying, and able to look right at you and smile while they're doing it type of person, and hurt you and break your heart over and over again and not even care that they're doing it. So I know this may seem a little strange, but it is just another spiritual experience that has happened to me. I tried with all my heart to explain what this meant when my client came. I really tried. And I don't believe that they quite grasped it like I did. But I know you out there, my family, my friends, my tribe, and anyone new tuning in, I know you get exactly what the hole in the devil neck means. So, you know, I'm hoping that you are paying close attention to this today. Because when somebody is trying to explain to you something and you're not grasping it, and then you get with that someone, and literally the sun light something on fire that you need to severely express to someone. This is, say it again, massive message from the heavens above. And I'm going to say it one more time. That has never happened to me. And I have been wide open in a huge park. I've been wide open at the beach. I have been never, ever happened to me before. So thank you, universe, for informing me of this. And thank you for anyone out there who is tuning in, because I think now you understand more than ever about the signs that people do not like to pay attention to. But look, it was going to burn my devil card up in my light seers deck if I didn't explain to this person how much of a sniveling snake they were dealing with. So I love you all so much, and I hope you understand exactly what I am saying about my most, well, not my most, but one of my spiritual experiences that I had recently. And if that ain't the heavens telling you that you need to watch out for something, I don't know what is. I love you guys so much out there, and I will see you again real soon.